Going to the store. Yeah, I'll pick up chips too. Kill two birds with one stone. Yikes.
Okay.
Someone's got some pent-up aggression. Sorry, it's an expression. Yeah, we're familiar.
Come on, man.
You think we live under a rock? What's that now? Talking sorry. Something wrong with my living quarters?
That's awkward.
Just because I live under a rock doesn't mean I'm some stick in the mud.
Hey! I got stuck, okay? You think I choose to live this way?
No, that's my bee.
Who put that pile of mud there?
Alright, so the wood can talk too.
Oh, I can talk alright. And let me just say, I am busy as a bee trying to get out of here.
Honestly, my schedule was pretty clear.
Oh.
Yeah, I got laid off last week.
Sorry to hear that.
Weird thing to bring up to strangers.
I'm gonna keep walking now. Yeah, get your chips.
If we stay totally silent, we'll be safe. I just hope there are curly fries where we're going next.
Who said that?
Oh my God, my fault, everybody. Sorry, but they do taste different. Hey, Marbles, how's it going?
It goes on and on and on for all eternity.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'm like, Monday again? What the heck? All right, so we're just gonna head out.
You fellas going to get burgers, potentially?
Yeah, that was the plan that we said out loud, unfortunately. The twins were thinking of maybe we go to Checkers to really treat ourselves.
What is a checker?
God, I wish you would blink. It's a burger joint that has plastic everywhere, so you can't stab the cashier.
I'd find a way. I've seen hell.
I believe both of those things. But it's our favorite spot, so...
Nonsense. I will make you burgers and you can stab me.
That sounds fun. That sounds fun. In your house where you know where all the exits are? Unfortunately, Mike wants the points, so... Yeah, Tulum is expensive. Tulum is so expensive. Psst, ask him how he would do it. What? No, why don't you ask him how he would do it? No, I'm shy. You ask him.
I heard him. He's 4 inches from my face. I would get 30% fat beef from a local farm, woman-owned.
Okay, slay.
And then I would go into the Checkers and start stabbing like crazy. I've seen hell, by the way.
You're kidding. You didn't mention that.
Yeah, it was Christmas time. The log was on fire. 15 minutes in, an ad for MailChimp comes on. Then right back to the fire.
He's describing YouTube. He saw YouTube.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Please, won't you be my neighbor? When you're a grown-up, I hope you're able to grow to respect whoever you are inside. I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, please, won't you be my neighbor? You know, everyone has lots of ways of feeling. It's what we do with our feelings that matter in this life. It's a beautiful day in this beautiful day in this beautiful day in this neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? You always make each day such a special day. It's a neighborly day in this beauty was a neighborly day for a beauty. Please, won't you be my neighbor? Only one person in this whole world like you. That's you yourself. I'll be back next time. Bye-bye.
And there you have it. Mr. Rogers goes hard. You never knew. You never knew. You know? I mean, it was oddly satisfying, and I have to say, it slayed a little bit. Gotta admit. What do you think?
Yeah.
Somebody had a lot of time on their hands. I saw that clip and I thought, what an addition to the show. Sure, why not?
It was funny, it was sweet, laced with a very creepy undertone.
Yeah, House of the. It's. Do you recognize the tune?
Mm,
House of the Rising Sun. Okay.
yeah.
Well, today's show brought to you by Gatorade and Lemon Lime. Unfortunately, I snapped the handle off of the juicer as I'm juicing this lime into my jar. It just went snap. I'm like, okay, I guess this is how my day's going. Snapped.
Oh no.
So if you're wondering how I'm doing, snapped. Anyway, moving right along. Speaking of snapped, Christian torture continues. Yes, it does. Because nothing says Christian love than let's torture gay kids through conversion therapy. And, yeah, that's what we're doing today. Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I am Skeptically Speaking.
And I'm Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And you found us on YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and Substack. And, yeah. This is, I honestly don't know how to start the show because, I mean, I guess if you're so delusional where you think you have a good idea of A, that there's a God, and number two, he definitely wants you to do what you want to do. Yeah, there's no this is why when we played that clip on the last show of this woman who's trying to make sense in her mind why these people can even refer to themselves as Christians. And she's trying to make sense of it because it doesn't mesh with her idea, her version of Christianity. And I've said this before, I'm going to continue saying it. I've said it 1,000 times. Christianity always goes back to its fascist roots every single time. It will. It will. You know, it is no surprise to me that we have a MAGA movement in this country that is bordering on the psychopath. I mean, they're psychotic is where they're at, and they're psychotic in their demeanor, psychotic in their actions, and we're going to talk about a bit of that. So to start this off, we have an article. U.S. Supreme Court appears poised to overturn Colorado ban on conversion therapy. So for those of you who are not familiar with conversion therapy, it's a torturous way of dealing with LGBTQ plus kids by telling them they are of the devil, they're living a life of absolute wicked sin just for them loving who they love or being attracted to who they're attracted to. Meanwhile, in our last show, we talked about a bunch of rapists. One rapist in particular, Robert Morris, who is going to be serving jail time. A little bit of jail time, but jail time nonetheless. He's a pedophile. And these people... And you want to talk about, you want conversion therapy? Why don't you turn that therapy around to the preachers who keep getting busted with child porn, child torture, and actually acting out on these proclivities? I've got another article here talking about the sun. Okay, Sweet Pea, do you know, if I were to say the words covenant eyes, what comes to your mind? Have you heard those words before? Covenant eyes? If you haven't, it's okay. Because you don't have it in your country. But maybe
I've heard the phrase keep sweet.
Okay, yeah, this has nothing. Covenant eyes is
I'm not too familiar with that.
Covenant eyes is a computer program you can install on your computer, and it's supposed to block any site that has to do with LGBTQ, porn, risque images, women who are dressed immodestly. I mean, it'll cut out, it'll block.
Oh,
Yeah.
a
So
truth blocker.
it's a truth blocker. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because
It keeps
the
Christians in their little bubble of hateism.
yeah, it
And it
actually
stops the
does.
truth getting into them.
It provides the illusion that anybody who uses Covenant Eyes is kept from all of this risque material that is enticing people to sin. Josh Duggar, you remember him? Of the Duggar
Yeah.
19 and counting?
Yeah.
He
Disgusting rapist, vile piece of shit.
Yeah, he he was busted with some child porn like you wouldn't believe. Guess what? He had Covenant Eyes installed on his devices. There are so many there are so many workarounds on getting around the blockers, and are ways, because so what it does is it's supposed to log your entire internet activity. So if you go to a dodgy website, it pops up, you get an alert pops up, but it also sends an alert to somebody else, like a family member or an accountability partner. They also have that to where you can hold each other accountable, by, say if I'm looking up stuff on the internet, my accountability partner gets an alert, he can text message me or email me or call me in some cases and say, hey, such and such popped up as an alert in my email. Is everything okay? Are you looking up blah, blah, blah on your computer? So that's how that kind of works. The Sun.
Or they or whoever will swiftly be made with mind your fucking business.
Yeah. So, and there's also a hacking aspect to it, to where it leaves your devices open to hackers, evidently. But that's another story. Now, let me just bring this, I'm just going to bring this full circle. So the son of the founder of this program just got arrested for trying to have, basically planning a sexual encounter or a rape encounter with a 14-year-old. Apparently, he arranged to have a meeting with this 14-year-old. He was going to have a hotel room already planned. He was going to pick this 14-year-old up and, take them back to the hotel room. Turns out he was in contact with a police officer posing as a 14-year-old girl. A Michigan entrepreneur. So this happened in 2000. I didn't realize it. This software is 25 years old today. Ron DeHaas, he co-founded Covenant Eyes, an anti-porn internet accountability software program that has since grown to more than 2 million users. The idea, he said at the time, was to protect his teenage stepsons from sexual temptation online. Its effectiveness has been lauded by many, including Speaker of the House, Representative Mike Johnson. But this past August 13th, one of those stepsons was arrested at a meeting spot in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he thought he would find a 14-year-old girl interested in having sex with him. Instead, Thomas Weiderman, 38, encountered officers from the Kent County Sheriff's Office, including a female detective who had been posing as a teenage girl online. According to probable cause affidavit, Weidman began communicating with the detective Sergeant Anna Birkeland on July 23rd through the Hush app. And I've never even heard of that. Good. Where he responded to her post by saying, hey, featuring a smiling horse. Weiderman said he was 37 and Berkman responded that she was 14. Weiderman then texted how he'd like to touch her, including kissing, touching her breasts, and pushing his hips into her. Yeah. Good Christian man. He suggested meeting with the teen where he could kiss a little and see what happens. Birkeland expressed interest, but said it would have to be when. Oh, Birkeland expressed interest, posing as the girl, and it would have to be when her mom was at work and sister at a friend's house. 2 days later, Weiderman texted Birkeland that he may have secured an apartment. Oh, where they could meet. An apartment, not a hotel room. Okay. When she asked what they would do there, Weiderman responded, he would taste every inch of you, caress your body, respond to your needs and desires, let you explore what it's to have someone completely adore you. Okay. That sounds like autocorrect. All right. Weiderman and Birkeland scheduled a meeting for August 14th, although they selected another location near the address Birkeland provided was her home. Weiderman told her to wear something simple and mature. Definitely something that makes you look older, but whatever feels natural. Nothing with high school names or anything for sure. Nothing with high school names. Strange. Oh, maybe nothing that identifies you as a high schooler. Nothing with your high school name on it. Like a jersey.
Like a school uniform.
Okay.
Gross.
Weiderman told Birkeland he was married, texted that he would bring condoms, but said that even if all they did was make out, it's still a great day. He also requested a picture of the girl in her bra, but did not receive one. When Weiderman arrived at the meeting spot, officers surrounded his vehicle and arrested him before transporting him to the Kent County Correctional Facility. They also confiscated a cell phone where officers say they discovered 12 videos featuring child sexual abuse material. All of the videos included prepubescent or young females, and some were violent, in addition to being sexual in nature. Weiderman has been charged with 4 counts of using computers to commit a crime, 3 counts of child sexual abuse activity, and 1 count of accosting children for immoral purposes. Some of the charges including a maximum penalty of life in prison. Holy shit. Bond for Weiderman has been set to $300,000. According to court records, DeHaas helped cover the cost and secure Weiderman's pretrial release. Holy shit. His stepfather, DeHaas, bailed him out of jail pre-trial.
That is disgusting. He belongs in jail. He shouldn't have been bailed out. What the fuck was his father thinking? He let a dangerous predator out on the street. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
This is from the Roy's report, reporting the truth, restoring the church. So this was October 5th, 2025. So this sounds like a yikes. It's kind of like the christianpost.com. I have a few articles from them. But here's the thing. Why is there no conversion therapy for these child molesters? Why are they focusing on gay kids? This man is not gay. Where's his conversion therapy camp? Why isn't he being taken to places like that? Why isn't he being tortured with conversion therapy? You know, they always go after consenting adults, don't they? But they never focused. And I'm telling you what, this motherfucker comes from the very same churches that have conversion therapy and want it to continue and want it to be widespread.
Conversion therapy is a barbaric, outdated, narcissistic, bigoted, disgusting practice that should be completely outlawed. All it does is cause damage. Being a part of the LGBT community is just as natural as it is to be straight.
Yeah. I mean, and these people, these are the same people that want to lower the age of consent. These creeps want to be with children so bad. And the big part of the reason is because adult women their own age cannot stand their asses. So they need to prey on
Because
children.
they're rapists.
Yep. They want to be able to legally prey on children.
Yeah,
Because
which is
children
disgusting.
their minds aren't fully developed. That's why in 20s is considered too old to some of these people. That's why you hear sermons where preachers talk about get them young. What they're talking about is before they're even fully developed, before their minds are able to be fully functional, get them before they can even make a coherent, groom them while they're still young.
Oh, yeah.
And then they bring up Mary, the mother of Jesus, all the time. Have you noticed that they're now acknowledging that Mary was underage? She was a child.
Of course she was. Yeah,
And
of course
they're
she was.
using that as a bit. Before they would deny it. They were like, no, she wasn't that young. That's not. And then they're like, oh yeah, actually she was young, and that's a good thing because this, and this. These
They are
people
completely deranged.
oh, they're sick.
They're deranged.
The call
Yeah.
is coming from inside the house. Now, let's get back to the conversion therapy in Colorado. So the U.S. Supreme Court appears ready to rule against a Colorado law that bans conversion therapy practices that let's see here. Yeah, so let's continue with the article. The U.S. Supreme Court appeared ready to rule against the law. Now, remember how they always talk about states' rights? They always say states' rights. The state has the right to do this and that, and the Supreme Court can't interfere. Here they are. This is states' rights. Colorado has ruled that conversion therapy should be illegal. It should be illegal. And they're okay. They're okay with states' rights being overruled. These fucking hypocrites. The high-stakes case could roll back the rights of LGBTQ plus youth across the country. Colorado is one of more than 20 states in the U.S. that have banned conversion practices, and a ruling in favor of the Alliance Defending Freedom, a Christian legal group, could make those laws vulnerable to similar changes. And then it talks about somebody who objected back in 2019 about the Colorado law for youth under age 18. The law applies to licensed mental health clinicians who seek to change a patient's gender identity or sexual orientation, discredited tactics that major medical associations have said are ineffective and harmful. Yeah, let's go back to that. When are we bringing shock therapy back? Let's just bring it all back. Let's just go back to what's next? Bloodletting? And people think we're crazy.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, I have signed many petitions myself in the UK to get conversion therapy banned. It is absolutely diabolically disgusting. Because, like, who you're sexually attracted to is completely natural, you know? Consenting adults is the key word.
Yeah, consenting adults or in the same range. It's like
exactly. So
yeah, this problem, the problem with child abuse, it's not the problem. It does not happen in the LGBTQ plus predominantly.
No.
This is heterosexual. This is a heterosexual problem for the most part.
It is.
Will you find abuses? You can find it anywhere, but it is predominantly in straight heterosexual normative families.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these abusers, by the way,
most of them I've noticed.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're probably going to make my point for me.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully not. But most of them are white, sort of Christian men.
Yep. And most of the, and I guarantee you. Now, going back to the article that we just read about that man who was arrested, I guarantee you that's not the first time that's happened. I guarantee you, if we dig into his past, he's either molested a family member or tried to, or a close family friend. I guarantee it, this is. If I had to bet, I would put money on it. This is not his first time.
You know, it is absolutely disgusting that they want adults who are wanting a consensual relationship with other adults to go something through that has been scientifically proven not to work. All it does, all conversion therapy does, is traumatize you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, they've been pushing since 2019 to get this off the books. And now they're that much closer because they've got this wackaloon Supreme Court. So oral arguments began Tuesday. When was this article written? Let's see here. There's no date there. What the fuck is it? There should be a date on this article. Give me one moment here.
No, you're fine.
Tuesday, October 7th. No, that's not.
Like, we just want to make it very clear that conversion therapy has no place in today's society. Grown adults who want a consenting relationship with another consenting adult shouldn't be punished for wanting a relationship. Absolutely barbaric. I can't even believe the conversion therapy still goes on to this day.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well bring shock therapy back. I mean, that's it's pretty much on par. So a mental health professional said, she was hurt by this law because she had to censor herself with clients due to fear of the law. Yeah, you should not even be in this field if this is your belief. You're not providing any help whatsoever. I mean, this is the problem I have is we don't have a system that weeds out people like this. If you have these beliefs and predilections, you should not be in any psychological field or anything to do with mental health, period. Full stop, done. You're out. You should be disqualified and you should have your license revoked.
Exactly, because
she's a licensed physician.
Because it has been scientific consensus that conversion therapy is not effective at changing someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. And the sort of mental health risks that combine with how cruel conversion therapy is, it traumatizes people. It traumatizes
I mean,
them.
kids have been driven to suicide because of this. You know,
Yeah,
they're taught they're
yes.
evil, wicked, and repugnant. And then they try to change themselves because everybody around them is saying they must. And then when they can't, they give up on life.
Oh yeah, and people that are running these conversion therapy centers, I don't think they don't fully understand the ramifications of how
They don't care. They don't care.
yeah, because it can have like a real deep negative sort of traumatizing impact
Yeah.
on us in the LGBT community, having to go through something that's so torturous, because being attracted to the opposite of the sex is the same, as sort of,
Well, let me just read this.
people who are attracted to the opposite sex. Sorry, go on.
No. Here's this. Conversion practices are condemned by American Psychological Association, American Medical Association, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and other major groups, with experts noting that techniques are linked to increase of depression and suicide attempts. The outlawed practices, sometimes called reparative therapy or sexual orientation change efforts, have historically involved outdated tactics such as electric shocks. I just brought that up as an example just to be a shit, but no. It's part of the practice is electrical shocks, but can also take the form of religious counseling or talk therapy aimed at suppressing LGBTQ plus people's identity and expressions.
Yeah, which being a homosexual is exactly the same as being heterosexual. It is natural. Both are natural. And why should us in the LGBT community be punished for being attracted to other consenting adults? We don't see heterosexual people being punished for being, sexually attracted to the opposite sex. So why should that be any different for us who are attracted to the same sex or non-binary, or why should we be punished for being sexually attracted towards another consenting adult?
This is crazy work. We're going to keep watching this space. We're going to have the links in the description. Yeah, it's just gross. I wanted to get into some good news. Apparently, switching topics, apparently the FDA has approved a generic abortion pill. So you've got methylpristone and what was the other one? Mifepristone, I'm butchering, but they're very similar. So there's two abortion pills that you take, one and then the second one. Anyway, there's a new
morning after pill. Does it work kind of like a morning after pill? Because
maybe
you've
it
got to
does.
take two.
Yeah. So the decision enraged opponents of abortion who have been pressuring the administration to restrict access to abortion medication. So instead of relying on this more expensive drug, there's a generic alternative. So it looks like they've approved a generic version of the abortion pill mifepristone, expanding the supply of the medication at a time when the Trump administration is under pressure from abortion opponents to sharply restrict access to abortion pills. The approval issued Tuesday means that 3 American companies can now produce mifepristone for abortion. The FDA approved the original pill 25 years ago and gave approval in 2019 for another company to produce a generic version. The decision comes at a time when anti-abortion advocates have been urging the FDA and the Department of Health and Human Services to take action to curtail access, especially by rolling back steps the agency took in recent years to allow the FDA and Department of Human Health Services to take action to curtail access by rolling back steps agency took in recent years to allow the pills to be prescribed through an in-person doctor visit and sent to patients by mail. So, yeah, I mean, this has already been shown to be safe and effective. In fact, it's actually safer than a lot of painkillers you can buy. More people die from Tylenol than any, abortion pills. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. and the FDA Commissioner Dr. Martin Makary have said that the agency will study the safety of mifepristone. Medical experts and supporters of abortion rights have filed letters and briefs pointing out that scores of studies have documented that mifepristone is safe and that serious complications are rare. On Thursday, a spokesman for HHS, Andrew Nixon, said in a statement that the FDA has very limited discretion in deciding whether to approve a generic drug. By law, the Secretary of Health and Human Services must approve an application if it demonstrates that the generic drug is identical to the brand name drug. So, it's not all bleak. I mean, can you imagine, and I'll tell you what, I was shocked by the teen pregnancy birth rates due to actual rape in places like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. I was just, it's just disgusting. And these generic drugs would help. I mean, imagine forcing a 9-year-old to carry to term. I mean, that's already happened. A 10-year-old has already given birth. A child being forced to carry a child to term. Gross.
It is traumatic enough having something so heinous happen to you in the first place, let alone being made to carry that perpetrator's child in the first place, let alone being a child. Your brain is barely trying to process what you've gone through, let alone being pregnant as a result of that traumatizing event. So I do think, abortion should be widely available for rape victims, and even other pregnant people to choose what is best for them and their bodies and their mental well-being.
Yeah. And meanwhile, farmers are still struggling.
As a farmer, we get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world. They're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. And you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition. So that makes the Argentinian soybeans about $12.42 a bushel. So all my premium, they all went to Argentina.
How are your other farmers, for your friends, feeling? I know a lot of them are Trump supporters. Do they still feel good?
Everybody's pretty nervous. Everybody's pretty scared. Everybody's scared to death.
Nunca pensé que los leopardos me comerían la cara. Nunca pensé que los leopardos me comerían la cara. Le di la espalda a los míos y pensé que todo iría bien. Nunca pensé que los leopardos me comerían la cara. Slow it down. Never fall.
Visit shop.francesca.net to get your Leopards Ate My Face merch. Ahora en español.
I guess they shouldn't have bet the farm on that.
Yeah, no kidding. So not only is Argentina getting a bailout, they're getting a bailout. They're getting a twin. I forgot the ridiculous $20 billion. And guess what? China is going to be ordering from them now. So we've lost.
Can't blame them.
So all of these farmers who spread anti-Chinese memes by blaming China for COVID, they're going to get fucked. They are going to get royally
They're getting what they voted for.
fucked. Hey.
They're getting what they voted for.
Right? Have the day you deserve, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just amazing. So, yeah,
Yes.
the farmers are getting hit hard. And they're going to have to get bailed out again just to keep them from going under. I say, you know what? No more bailouts. I think you should suffer the consequences of your vote. Yeah. I believe it. Anyway, on a serious note, men, if you do not have a mustache like this, what are you even doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Hello, some of you could be potentially able to do this. You have not lived until you have a Batman stash. Thank you. This has been my Tech
That
Talk.
looks so awesome. Mm-hmm. Who wants to play Batman and Robin?
I don't think I'm quite brave enough to do that, but I'll keep it under advisement. Anyway, speaking of shit, let's hear from another shitbag.
Just in case you wanted a little bit more evidence that TikTok is cooked, let's hear from the war criminal himself.
We have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is
Followers.
TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot, and I could go on other things, but that's not the point.
To summarize, the war criminal currently committing a genocide that is currently illegally kidnapping people on international waters on a peaceful mission, trying to bring aid to the people of Gaza, while all that is happening, trying to control the narrative through evangelical influencers and anybody else willing to take their money. Honestly, this video is probably not even going to get shown to you, but I'm going to start doing Substack because that feels like the one that's less compromised. Man, we got to figure something out. TikTok is not it. What do you think of this?
Yeah. I mean, that's why you're hard pressed to find any coverage of Gaza on TikTok is because of the Israeli lobby, AIPAC, and just basically right-wing takeover of TikTok. So there you have it. Out of his own. Notice how some of the guesses were followers. What is the most important purchase right now on social media? And did you hear how many people said followers? These people buy followers. They buy them. And they use these fake followers to boost their content. So whenever you see a right-wing MAGA with all these thousands of followers, many of them are bots. Bought and paid for. Some of them are connected to these bot farms and they don't have to even pay a penny.
I was just about to say, so they're losing their farm, so they decided to become bot farmers instead.
You know what's amazing to me? A lot of these farmers who spread all this disinformation did it for free. Imagine if they were smart enough to have monetized their disinformation that they shared freely. So it's like, you know what? You deserve to go bankrupt. But anyway, next.
You think Bad Bunny's a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
Imagine being that ignorant of politics. I mean, this person, Tommy Lauren, she should know better. This tells me she doesn't pay attention to her own. She doesn't pay attention to her own social media. She's just spewing forth. She could have easily fact checked that ahead of time, and they never do. None of these people believe or even understand or know that Puerto Rico is an American territory, and by that technicality, the Puerto Rican citizens are Americans.
Are we surprised? Look, when they said they were leaving, look, when they said that they were going to move to Alaska or Hawaii, and everybody else in the world is just looking at them like that's still part of America.
Boy, don't you wish we had more Jesus on TikTok? I think we need more Jesus. Let's hear from him.
This video may get suppressed or even removed, so if you see it, be sure to like, comment, save, and reshare. This is my platform, and I'm going to use it how I please. International waters do not belong to Israel. The Mediterranean Sea is not an active war zone. Blocking humanitarian aid is a violation of international law. Seizing civilian ships in open waters is nothing short of modern-day piracy. This has to stop. We cannot let this continue. International law serves absolutely no purpose if our world leaders actively decide which nations it does and doesn't apply to, especially when one of those nations is actively committing a genocide. This has been going on for far too long in front of our very eyes, and yet our world leaders are more concerned about our outrage than they are about actual war crimes. Our leaders need to start listening to us and not war criminals. Free Palestine.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, I guess Jesus can be considered a cool dude. Anyway, I ran across this and almost went, whoa, whoops. Select all the squares that match the label Sarah Connor. And someone said, ha ha ha, good try, AI. I'm not going to help you recognize the mother of the rebel resistance. Get it? Okay, good. I just want to make sure that it wasn't just me. Yeah, I thought that was pretty witty.
It is. Skynet's trying to be smart to get people to identify it by filling in all the squares, and somebody was just like, no, I'm not doing that.
The mother of the resistance will always be safe in my house. Anyway, next.
Our children are instructed from propaganda tracks like those of Howard Zinn that try to make students ashamed of their own history.
Zane, Howard Zane. Say his name correctly if you go in to blaspheme his book that is the actual truth. Sorry.
You know, that I can't imagine a better promotion for a book. That's how any book that these right-wingers hate has got to be a good book. And it must be important. Yeah. So if you want a list of good books to read, look at all the books that the right wing hates. And that should be your list. By the way, I already have Howard Zinn Oh, yeah. Yep. I already got it. Thanks, Donald, for the suggestion. But anyway.
What do you mean, man? This is America. Of course we force families and children out of their homes in the middle of the night and zip tie everybody with no cause whatsoever. You know, like Americans do. This is America, man. Of course we shut down peaceful protesters by arresting them and manhandling them, throwing them to the ground and spraying pepper spray in their faces. You know, America. This is America, man. Of course we're a fascist dictatorship. Come on, dude. America. Guys, we're talking about America. You know, the place where they're watching the things that I'm saying right now and compiling a list to see if I should be arrested or detained or who knows what's next, right? America. I don't understand what you're so confused by, guys. It's America. The place where we shut down the government instead of confronting our past and having to deal with consequences for our actions. America. We're talking about America, where we unleash the full might and power of our armed military on our own citizens. I mean, it's America.
Well, I can't argue. I can't argue with them. Yeah. So, yeah, this is what we've become. We've become a country that caters to cruelty and actually loves cruelty, which is why conversion therapy is, most of these dingbats are okay with it. These right-wingers, because they love the idea of these kids getting tortured to the point where they kill themselves. Because that's what they want. That's what they're after. Now, I know we talked about this dickweed already, but it bears repeating.
That's how fast cops say a 17-year-old was driving when he mowed down two teen girls riding on an e-bike. Now, video has surfaced of the suspect shortly after the crash, laughing on a gaming site.
It's the creepy laugh of an accused killer. We're learning new information about 17-year-old Vincent Bataloro, accused of intentionally slamming his Jeep into two best friends as they rode an e-bike. According to just-released court papers, police say he was driving 70 miles an hour when he plowed into 17-year-olds Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas. We found this video of Bataloro on a gaming site, talking about pranking Maria by sending a pizza to her house. She reportedly had spurned his advances and had filed for a restraining order against him.
Hi, can I place an order for delivery, please? Can I get 2 large pepperoni pizzas? It'll be cash at the door.
He then lets out that demonic laugh. He tells viewers it's all because allegedly Maria had made fun of Charlie Kirk.
Whenever Maria sees the pizza guy come, better think of Charlie Kirk for making fun of his death. Stupid clown.
A fellow gamer asks if he'll drive to Maria's house to watch the pizza be delivered.
Oh, I did that the last time, but the mother saw me pull up in the car, and I got tracked, and the police, did what they did.
Bataloro made the video 9 days ago. On Monday, when the two girls were killed, police say Bataloro fled the scene before they found and detained him and issued him an astonishing 15 tickets. But he was not arrested because he claimed it was an accident. The next day, Bataloro went online to express his condolences.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. I wish my sincerest condolences.
On Wednesday, after police discovered his connections to Maria Niotis, he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Last night, Maria's mother spoke out.
She wasn't just my daughter. She was my best friend, my sunshine.
The families of both victims released a joint statement calling the suspect a coward of a man who had been plotting the attack for months.
Yeah, where's his conversion therapy? This psychotic whack job. But those two girls on the bike, probably, if they were part of the LGBTQ community, as far as we know, we don't know. They would be the targets of this conversion therapy. That is how sick and twisted this society is. Meanwhile, this fucking jackaloon who spends all of his time playing video games and his supporters watch as he plays video games, probably sending him money for the privilege of watching him play video games. Gross. Anyway, I hope he dies in prison. I really do. Here is what I call the only way to respond to these ass hats. This is the correct response.
False, dumbass. The section of the...
So, real quickly, let's go into it. So the comment was, yeah, they want to give health benefits and welfare to illegal immigrants. And so he's responding to that comment.
ACA that the Democrats want protected is subtitle E, section 71109, alien Medicaid eligibility, amongst other sections that have to do with you. Alien Medicaid eligibility speaks only to access to Medicaid funds for legal resident aliens, not illegal undocumented immigrants. Nowhere in the ACA is Medicaid access provided to illegal undocumented immigrants. Your boogeyman. But the Republicans want to gut the ACA in order to pay for the billionaire tax cuts in the big billionaire bill, and that's who you're rooting for. You're pushing a lie, you're buying into an absolute lie, and you need to wake the fuck up.
Yeah, no notes. No notes. He ate and cleaned the plate. Did you know that Donald Trump was a prophet?
Of ketchup? Of shit?
Apparently,
Of lies?
he thinks he predicted the attack on 9/11.
What the fuck? Since when?
We have some
Since
really weird
fucking
news right
when?
now. Donald Trump, while speaking to the Navy, either just tried to take credit partially for knowing that Osama bin Laden would commit 9/11 or tried to take credit for killing Osama bin Laden. Either way, if this was Joe Biden, people like Jake Tapper would have a field day right now because I don't really know what he's saying. So maybe you can help me?
I don't want to be politically correct anymore. And history will never forget that it was the SEALs who stormed the compound at Osama bin Laden and put a bullet in his head. Remember that? And please remember, I wrote about...
Under whose administration? Whose
That was
administration?
Obama. That was Obama.
Yep. Let's listen
It
to
was
some more.
It was
Osama
Bush
bin Laden and
then
put a
Obama.
bullet in his head. Remember that? And please remember, I wrote about Osama bin Laden exactly 1 year ago, 1 year before he blew up the World Trade Center. And I said, you got to watch Osama bin Laden. And the fake news would never let me get away with that statement unless
A year
it was
ago.
true. But I said 1 year before to Pete Hegseth. I said 1 year before.
Does
Where's
Trump
Pete?
understand how long ago?
In the book, I wrote
9/11
whatever the hell the
happened?
title, I can't tell you. But I can tell you
It's
there's
longer
a
than a
page
year
in there
ago.
devoted to the fact that I saw somebody named Osama bin Laden, and I didn't like it, and you got to take care of him. They didn't do it. A year later, he blew up the World Trade Center, so we got to take a little credit because nobody else is going to give it to me.
So I guess he's asking for credit for knowing that Osama bin Laden would blow up the Trade Center on 9/11 in 2001. Spread the word, follow along for more. If this was Joe Biden, Jake Tapper would have a field day.
Yeah. This is our
I'm
president.
sorry, I'm lost for words.
This is our president. He is so delusional. He actually believes he wrote about it in a book and he doesn't know the title to the book. I'm surprised he didn't have the book ready to show us. I mean, something that important, why wouldn't you have a copy of that book handy? What is the title of this book?
He never. He's full of shit. And what compound was I can't pronounce his name. That terrorist.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden, yeah. He was shot in a cave, wasn't he?
No, he was
An
shot in a
underground cave.
compound. They literally stormed.
I thought it was in a cave.
No,
Oh, okay.
he was.
I thought it was a cave.
He stayed in caves. Yeah, I mean that was part of his, hiding. But he eventually settled on a compound.
Oh, okay.
Trying to, I want to say somewhere close to Saudi Arabia, but not quite. The details slip my mind. But this guy is so delusional. He thinks he's the one who warned about him ahead of time. He warned everyone, he said. I mean, this guy is just beyond delusional. Beyond. And his followers are even that much more so. Let's listen to a bunch of drunk MAGAs.
For years, the U.S. has been screwed over by China, Europe, South America. These tariffs are sending a message that the U.S. will not be screwed over.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. We need to rebalance trade and stop China from ripping us off.
And Donald Trump is here to stand up for us.
Then let me ask you, what deal has he cut with China?
We are done.
What deal has he cut with China?
We don't necessarily.
This
need
isn't
to
about
balance the
right
trade.
now.
What deal
this
has he
is
cut with
about
China?
setting the future. This is about setting us up for
No
5
answer.
years, 10 years.
No
30
answer.
years
I'll give you
from
an
now.
answer.
What deal has
I'll
he
give-
cut with China?
I'll give
He has
both
set
ways, yeah.
2 90-day delays. You
Yeah.
can't answer what a deal is. He can't answer what a deal is. Nobody can answer what the
I'm
deal
trying
is.
to answer it to you, even on the delays, which are obviously strategic. The point of setting the trade equilibrium as being the metric is because it's so crazy and kind of impossible in certain cases. All of the
Michael,
above.
I'm going to ask my question one more time.
Yes.
What deal did he get with China?
What specifically are you asking me?
I'm
What
asking
deal
you,
did he
what
get?
deal did this person just came up to the mic and said Trump took office and is going to hold China accountable.
But what did
All
he do?
Trump has done is pussyfooted and delayed 90 times, and you're sitting here stuttering
But
because you
I
can't.
don't get.
Okay, then answer the deal. What deal has he cut with China? No, shut up. What deal has he cut with China?
No, but I think.
No,
Adam,
listen, answer right now.
But Adam, we've been addressing your point because you're saying he didn't get a deal quickly enough. He didn't get a deal in 30 days.
There's
or 60
no
days.
deal. What's his framework?
But you're saying I don't like.
You're
the
looking at
I'm
the
trying to
short
answer
term.
you.
This
If
is
your
a
po-
long-term
If your point
play.
is,
My understanding is Trump's putting a tariff so they bleed for a long period of time, and then they come to the table and there's a negotiation. What else should he do? What can we add?
Maybe some clarity to the tariffs.
Yeah.
Wasn't Trump's entire motto 90 deals in 90 days?
I mean, that's what he said.
Why? Okay, wait. Didn't he also say he'll end the Ukraine war on day one? Can I ask you guys in the crowd?
He
Did
is
he get
doing the
90
most.
deals in 90 days? No. Did he end the war? No. This dude is a weak
Who
who
else
does not know what to do.
Who else is trying to defend America?
Who else is trying to tariff every country like a f***ing retard?
Who
Donald
else
Trump?
is giving
You just advocated tariffing all those countries.
Who
You just
else is
advocated
trying
doing
to
that.
save America like Donald Trump? Who else is waking up to save America?
We're cooked. We
are cooked.
are cooked.
Yeah. Also, you were right. Osama bin Laden was shot in his compound in Abbottabad. I can't pronounce that country name. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. But it was on the borders of Pakistan.
Yeah, I know it was
I
in
don't know why I
a weird.
thought-
It was in a weird
Hmm.
location for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was shot in a cave, although weird.
Yeah. But these people are just so delusional. So delusional.
I think it's because they were showing where he had been living down what looked like a cave bunker thing. And I think I just automatically assumed that he was shot down there when he wasn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
That is my bad. But yeah, you were right, it was a compound.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he moved locations like crazy, but I think towards the end, he just felt comfortable enough to put down roots, and just got tired of running, I guess. Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us. If you've watched to the end, want to thank you, and also want to let you know that we want to become your social media, your independent media. Excuse me. So please, if you'd like to support the show, we would love to have your support. Cash App, Venmo, or become a Patreon subscriber. We'd love to have you.
Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you for joining us today.
All right.
We appreciate you all.
Thank you so much. And with that, see you on the flip side. Take care, everybody.